The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Oh look, a movie with an incredibly predictable plot, but you don't care because it's so pretty. Yes, boys and girls, this means Amber and Scott are discussing Avatar, Fire and Ash. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Well, you know what they say. Once you go blue, well, you actually probably have asphyxiation and really need to take care of that immediately or you'll die.
Wow, okay. That I guess that's appropriate for the film, and I'm going to give you the shortest description ever, likely the longest movie ever, which is Avatar, Fire and Ash. The conflict on Pandora escalates as Jake and Neytiri's family encounter a new aggressive Na'vi tribe.
Oh, that's actually pretty descriptive compared to some of the ones we've had in the past.
Yeah, so for a 3-hour and 15-minute film, we have a short description. This is the continuation of the last film, which left the story to be continued. So we're picking up here in the next... pretty much immediately after what's happened on the prior film.
You're calling it a continuation. I'm mostly calling it a repeat.
Why?
Because it pretty much felt the same damn story. Obviously, a few little things here and there, but a lot of it felt exactly the same. Maybe changed some of the locations, though the big sea battle was not a different location. That was the same location.
The world and its natural inhabitants are under attack. There is an enemy that's trying to get Jake, and explosions and warfare ensue.
This is a beautiful movie to go and watch in IMAX, but its story for me, it's just insanely predictable. They're not swerving you at all.
So whenever we go to see this film, I always book it on the biggest screen possible at the largest theater possible, in 3D.
Which is what you should do. If you're going to go see this movie in the theaters, do not go see it in a normal theater.
It's worth the extra upgrade to get 3D and just fully experience all the beauty of it.
It is a full 5 stars as far as beauty and cinematography and just, the world is gorgeous. It is amazing. It's just sad it's attached to such a bad story.
It would be a crime to see this on a TV. So
yes.
Don't watch this at home. Like, the magic is truly in the theatrical experience. Now, that said, we are obviously not a movie review show. We talk about what we would do in the character's shoes. So we have the film starting off with Jake and his wife lamenting the death of their son and still being under attack where Jake knows people are coming after him.
Yeah. I don't know what to say here.
So what would you do if you were basically staying someplace, because Jake and his family is staying with a neighboring tribe, and they basically said initially on the previous movie, you can stay here, just don't be trouble. And of course, people are looking for Jake, so Jake brings trouble wherever he goes. And there has been already massive impact on the tribe that he's staying with. And now we have another thing where Jake is captured after staying with the tribe. So what would you do if you were a tribe and a family shows up and basically says, we just want peace, we just want to be here, but then finding out that, wow, people are looking for him and they're going to blow up our island and blow up our housing and kill all of our people because he's here? What do you do if you're the tribe leader of that?
Well, I think that's mostly the second movie where they did that. They were family by the end of it, but it's fine. We can.
Well, it's not the second movie because we start out the third movie with him still being there after everything that happened in the second movie.
Well, that's the thing. You're still there. Like, your family.
Yeah, that's my
your family
point.
at that point. You're not getting kicked out.
So your answer is your family, and I'm not kicking you out?
At that point, yes. At that point, you've fought together, bled together, your family. I'm not thrilled maybe that you brought this into the people, but we are well past the point of that decision. So yeah, I guess we're doing this. So let's do it.
I don't know if I share that sentiment, because if you came and you brought all of this chaos and everything and then continue to bring more, that's asking a lot of a village, I think. And as a tribe leader, you have a certain responsibility to protect who are there. I don't know. It's a difficult political situation for a tribe leader.
The opportunity to pass on it passed, I think, at that point. That was second movie. They could have been like, hey, troublemaker, GTFO.
Okay. So, continuing on in the film, we have Spider, who is the pink butt, according to his references, pink butts or pink hands or whatever. And he is a human. And the air in Pandora is poisonous to humans, so he always has to wear this mask. And he has one other one to swap out with while the other one's charging. And I'm not sure how they are charging stuff in these tribal villages.
They got their own tech.
But he almost dies because his mask runs out in the middle of the night, and they think, we've got to get him somewhere safer because he's going to die. What would you do if you were Spider's somewhat adopted family and he was the only human around and was living a life in a mask?
I mean, it's another one of those, he's been in and around this whole time. He's had this mask this whole time. There's a certain point at which you just don't go backwards. You've made your bed, now you lie in it. And Spider was part of the family at that point. I know the mother didn't really see it that way, but that's because she was
kind of a hag.
Yeah, she was
a cranky hag.
she was. I mean, I get it. Those people killed my people, you're my people. But I mean, honestly, that would be like the argument of that they made for rounding up Japanese people during World War II and putting them in camps. No, the other people in Japan are the ones that are doing it. These people over here, they're fine. They don't like what's going on over there, so you don't need to round them up. It's the same thing.
Well, I don't know if that's a fair comparison. They weren't rounding up people.
The Japanese?
Well, yes, in history that happened. I'm talking about on the film. They weren't rounding up people. They were concerned about Spider's well-being, and they thought, he can't live like this. We've got to get him somewhere else. But my what would you do on that is Spider is, I don't know how old Spider is. I kind of feel he might be like
13, 14?
18.
Oh, you think?
So I feel he's older teens, but
maybe
at that point he has been around these people. This is his family, and as he notes, he has no one to go to. Like, where are you shipping him off to? He doesn't know anybody else, and I think it's kind of how I feel about animals, where people say, oh, well, this animal can live, this long in captivity where they're safe from predators. I'm like, yeah, but they're caged up. They want to be free, and they'll make their own choices and live their own lives without, human interference. And I think similarly of Spider is, I'm sure Spider would much rather make his own choice for his life, because when presented with this opportunity, he does not want to go. He wants to stay, and he doesn't mind wearing the mask. And he just wants to be with everybody.
Well, the bigger problem comes later when he has no masks battery left and he's going to die, and Kiri basically feels something with the planet and this mitochondrion or whatever it was.
Yeah, she's got some magic glow going.
Yeah, basically a parasite takes over the inside, or maybe it's a
mitochondria.
It's a mutually beneficial relationship. But this is actually where it gets interesting now, because he now can breathe the air.
Yeah.
Great for him. Terrible for the Na'vi.
Yeah, because if the capacity exists for a human being to live on Pandora, then that means all the humans from Earth can come up and mess up Pandora the same way they've messed up Earth.
Yeah, you've got to, I mean, at that point, he is either extremely precious to you and you protect him at all costs, or you kill him.
Yeah, that is quite a what would you do, because his existence means that scientists now can reverse engineer how he's able to live on Pandora, and obviously having that information in the wrong hands means that you're going to have basically international tourism on Pandora, and they will come. They already have to hunt the animals and kill and extract things that they find valuable, and very upsetting, even though they're imaginary, not actually in characters, species that we know exist. They're in the Pandora world, but it's definitely a quandary because most of the family, with the exception of the mom, love Spider, is one of them. They protect him fiercely, but knowing that he can fall into the wrong hands, which at one point during the film he does, and they do tests on him, and they're on the way to figuring out how he can exist here so they can pass that knowledge on so other humans can come to Pandora. As for what would I do in that situation, boy, that is super hard because given the fact that everyone is constantly on the hunt for Jake, how do you keep Spider safe? Because they are constantly being hunted.
Yeah, well, I need to go back like a minute and a half or so.
Okay.
On something there. So the whole thing with him getting the mitochondria and seeing that he can breathe, that actually presents two separate issues. Number one, as soon as he's literally seen in the wild by people, they don't even have to get a hold of him. They now know there's a way.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, there is a way. Because I think to that point, they were like, you just can't.
Yeah.
So now they know there's a way. And then the second part is once they actually get him there and they're able to study him and do all sorts of stuff, then it kind of gives them a huge hint as to what that way is. That said, Jake was going to execute him after he'd already been studied.
Well, it wasn't a one and done study thing. They had conducted some tests on him, but obviously it's a process. They didn't get the answer they needed of how to reverse engineer for humans to live the poison.
Yeah, how to reverse engineer, no, but they know what it is. They know what's going on inside of him.
Yeah, but they need access to him for continuing testing and research.
It
doesn't matter.
My point is that by that point, 90% of the harm in his existence is already done.
I wouldn't say 90% because
95?
It's not like they're not 90 or 95% close to this result, which would be something they could give humans to exist on Pandora. They just did some preliminary tests on him. It's a whole process to figure out an actual outcome, an actual solution.
Well, yeah, but you can't use him for it because he already has the process. If you're going to deal with reverse engineering, you need subjects that aren't him.
So what I might do...
You don't care about undoing the process.
I'm not talking about...
You just care about doing the process.
I'm not talking about undoing or redoing or anything. I'm saying that he is still needed because any experiment, you need data from your test subjects. So they need to know if there's any limitation or if it's temporary or if what other things might come up. For example, he got one of those, and I don't remember the name of it, but one of those little weird stringy things in the back of his head that connects to...
Oh, yeah.
So that is what happens when you study someone. So they needed continued access to him. So they are not 90 or 95% done with him because things were still happening.
Oh, they already found that. Yes, I get it. Things are happening. In a perfect world, they'd hold on to him and poke and prod him to infinity. But my
yes,
point
they had
is,
a lot of information.
My point is, they already gathered so much information that you're like, now you're going to kill him? Like, no, you don't kill him at that point.
I don't know. I think maybe if it were me, maybe I would try to fake Spider's death. Be like, oh gosh, this result was only temporary and he could live here, but it wore off and now he's dead and he infected the entire village and now everybody's dead or some sort of something to get them off of this path of even exploring using mitochondria to help humans.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so where do we go from here with...
Well, one of the things that happened is I always hear them call the daughter Kitty. You were just giving me another name.
Yeah, it's
Carrie. She basically finds out she doesn't have a father and that oh gosh, there's so many strange names here and I'm doing a terrible job. I remember them. Who is the presence? Is it Adira or...
Oh, yeah, it's...
Iwa. Awa.
Ewa.
Yeah, doesn't acknowledge her. And she desperately wants to connect to Awa because Awa seems to be the source, the mother, the protector of Pandora. And she cannot connect with her. And it's something that's because of how she was created.
Yeah, get a clue, chick. She doesn't want you.
So
don't chase the person who doesn't want you.
So what would you do is develop healthy relationships and don't chase someone who wants you.
I mean,
or doesn't want you.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not. I'm not one of them. They do things differently than me. I mean, at a certain point, you're like, I keep trying to contact this chick, and I keep basically coming close to dying. Maybe I should try to contact her, which she did. But when she did the last time, I mean, it was kind of one of those, well, I have a feeling if I don't contact her, I'm going to die. And if I do, I probably will still die, but at least maybe that's an avenue. So, screw it. Let's go for it.
When you're in a desperate situation and all the bad things are happening and all the fights and all the fires and all the death, yeah, you've got to try to pursue every possible avenue. And she was willing to do that.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting if we look on the dark side for a moment, how Miles, the corp or colonel or whatever, decided he was going to go try to make nice with the fire people. And
yeah, Quaritch definitely was military, but he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to bring in this crazy tribal group that seems worse than anyone that we've encountered, and then says, hey, I'm going to give you a bunch of guns and teach you how to use them.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to be the first one to extend an olive branch. Here, listen, you guys talked about liking this. I came here of my own accord, presumably by myself, but not when they realized they docked somebody off from afar. But hey, you don't have to threaten me. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. I came here with guns to help you guys so that we can form a healthy partnership. And if we take away the good guy, bad guy dynamic for a minute, that's the thing. Sometimes if you want to form a relationship with someone or a group or whatever, and that's important to you, you need to be willing to make that first step. And sometimes that step's got to be a pretty grand step. Earning people's trust is not easy, especially these days. And sometimes you just have to do what it takes to earn that trust. And that's what he did. Could he have died? Yeah, because they were crazy. But I think he figured he understood the fire witch. And he's like, I can talk her language. I can talk the language she needs to get it, because I'm a ruthless asshole and she's a ruthless asshole. We get each other.
Yeah, he's an interesting character because basically he has been given the memories of Quaritch, but that's not really who he is. And Quaritch is Spider's dad. So he has these memories of being Spider's dad, but he's not.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting thing. And it actually kind of brings up some things about the way technology is evolving. I know Black Mirror, the San Junipero episode, where you're like hooked up to something, but you're in this world. Is that really you, or is it not you?
Well, and that's like Upload as well.
Yeah.
The TV show Upload.
Yeah. And even in real world applications, we are getting to the point that you can't clone to a physical biological body yet, but you can make a clone like online that looks like you, sounds like you, talks like you, and outside of having a physical body could basically be you. I don't think we're very far away from being able to do something where it probably could take memories.
And the interesting thing is these films started out in a time that was really pre-AI where we are today. The third one, obviously, is in a very much AI run world, but the first one definitely was not, and the second one I think was still a tad too early. But now in today's world, it is not at all unreasonable to think that you could be engaging, for example, with your Alexa. I'm not going to say the word.
Oh, no, I changed your name here. You can say it.
Okay.
Alexa.
Where you could be engaging with your Alexa, and it could have the memories of your dead spouse or your grandma or a parent or someone that is no longer here. And if that has someone else's memories, is that relationship real? And do you protect that? Because you're not necessarily, for Spider, is he actually protecting the body of Quaritch, or is he protecting the memories? Because it gets really convoluted of, okay, I'm feeling you're this person because you know these things, but you're not really, it's just memories.
Well, if I remember correctly from the last one, that they could print out another Quaritch if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It basically reverts back to the memories he had. You kind of lose the new stuff.
But it goes back to Spider. I mean, it's less about him and more about the people he engages with. So Spider actually ends up saving him at the end of the previous film because there is something going on there where he feels connected to this person.
Here's the thing. If you pass and there's been a clone made of you that looks like you, sounds like you, for all intents and purposes, is you, except it's not the original body or vessel and stuff like that. It's one of those, you take what you can get.
Well, that's actually one of those Black Mirror episodes as well, with the guys that are up in outer space and they take time coming down.
Yeah. I mean, I would take what I could get as it pertained to you, if that's all that was available. Now, if there's a clone of you out there while you're still available, you're one and the clone is two. I mean, I think...
Thanks.
Well, I mean...
She's two?
Well, I mean...
She's even on the radar?
Well, I mean, she's not...
If you happen to, I don't know, step out into traffic a minute too soon, I got number 2 lined up.
That is not even slightly what I meant. My point is that there's a clear hierarchy. It's not, oh, you're Amber and you're Amber, so now I just have 2 Ambers.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean... Especially when it deals with grief. I mean, not to hit on a too sad of a subject, but if you had the ability right now to be around someone that looked like, talk, had the mannerisms of basically identical to your mom.
Okay, well, let's not get crazy. We don't need it identical.
No, I mean...
if we're creating something, there are a couple things that I would edit. I mean, let's just get real.
But
we all do.
I mean, Miles looked like he was effectively Miles.
Yeah.
I mean, would you want to have that person around, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. At a certain point, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you take what you can get. So, yeah, it's...
So, another what would you do that I think is worth exploring. So, we have the crazy guy who wants to murder all of the animals and extract this liquid from them and sell it for billions of dollars.
That dude.
We hate him. So, they're planning this massive slaughter of all of these creatures and all of their babies in this sacred calf birthing ceremony where they all collect in one area, and the babies, and they're just going to go in and just murder all of these creatures at a massive scale. And the marine biologist says, what are you doing? These are complex creatures. They actually know music and words, and they are intelligent creatures. What are you doing? And they're like, yeah, no, we're doing this. Shut up, marine biologist. And marine biologist releases Jake Sully because he knows that Jack will try to protect the animals.
Yeah, and also a little bit of an FU too.
So what would you do if you were the marine biologist? You are on this mission. You've been hired to help this happen, but then you realize not only is this happening and it's not exactly what you thought, but then there is this plan for ultimate mass destruction.
Yeah, no, I do what he did.
Yeah. Me too. What would I do? Yeah, I would get a strangely oversized bulldozer, which is the size of like a massive building. I don't know where they got that. And yeah, I would definitely free Jake and take out everything I could.
So let me.
I liked him.
Let me give you a last. What would you do?
Okay.
If you could have that massively oversized bulldozer right now in real life, what would you do with it? What would be the first thing you would demolish?
Oh, gosh.
Or even you have the bulldozer, you can demolish any one building that you want. What building are you demolishing?
Political structures are kind of coming into mind, but I don't want to be political here. Oh, an animal testing lab.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's Amber?
Yeah.
There's that one from the documentary. What's its name? The really horrible one.
They're all Huntington Life Sciences. Yeah, they changed their name since, but yeah.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one to bulldoze.
Liberate all the animals and then bring in the bulldozer.
Yeah, I have to admit, I would probably find some address out there at this moment. Some address out there. I'd be like, let's pick something that has a 1600 in it, and just go after that.
Yeah, I think that building's already been destroyed enough.
Yeah, it's suffered enough bulldozer damage.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.